everyone.
Hey, Parker Automotive fans. Today we're here at the shop and we are working on a 2002 Ford Explorer and we're doing some rear brakes. The mechanic's going to tell you all the fun stuff he came up with today.
Okay, so we didn't get too far on it. Like you can see, it needs brakes anywhere. It's ground on the inside, but the pad itself isn't touching. It's only touching one spot.
You see the pad. Oh,
the pads are off.
okay.
This is the inner pad. This is the inner pad.
Throw it in front of the wheel. I can't come to you.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, so.
Well, that is metal on metal.
Right, and then here, so it may need a caliper. The only thing is the caliper actually drew all the way in. So we have something that we still have to deal with. One thing I wanted to do a video on is because I thought it was a frozen caliper at first because it almost feels like the wheel's locked up. And it is, but it's not a hub because the hub's turning. If you can come over here. So this is an emergency brake cable. This right here engages. When you step on the emergency brake, it pulls down this cable right here, which pulls open this. It's almost like a cylinder, basically. It'll expand because on the inside of these shoes, or inside of this rotor, this is actually a drum, a top hat. There's in the inside is the emergency brake shoes. We're having a problem taking it out. Like you can see, the emergency brake is off.
Go ahead and you want to press it?
No, because I already know it's off. It's already fully down.
So when you pressed the pedal, there was absolutely no movement on the cable.
Right, none at all. Yeah, and you know what? This right here is actually a tool. This is a snap-on tool, actually Blue Point, but this is for expanding the calipers. You're supposed to put them inside of here. You turn it, but what you can use this for is if you come over here on the back end of this, and can you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in here, in between the emergency brake adjuster.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to where you are, and it's difficult because
if you let me get on this side.
Yeah, what I'm getting is just your hands.
So.
There we go.
So,
that's kind of
yeah. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna stick this in here because most likely he also needs emergency brake cables with all the rust that's underneath this car. There we go. Now it's moving. Can you see it moving? See how we're
the spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what it is this cable is frozen. And we're going to fully extend that.
So I'm going to add that this is a pretty good tool for not only saving the customer money, but also saving the mechanic a whole bunch of headache.
Right, because usually what you got to do is you got to hammer these things off. I already tapped it once, and that's when I realized. So now, like you can see, it's free. So sometimes, man, you know, what you might think is a caliper, it actually is a frozen emergency brake, and I'll show you once we get these. Oh, man, these are probably gonna need. Yeah, it's just rusting. Turn them off, and like you can see, so I'll turn this light on. Man, it's dark in here. Okay, so on the inside of the rotor on these models, on this design, this is where the emergency brake goes. So the emergency brake is on the inside of the rotor. It's a two-function. But like you can see, these are emergency brake shoes. These are the I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
They don't say emergency brake no more. They say
parking brake shoes.
Parking brake shoes. So these are the parking.
How do I know
shoes.
I'm the part toterer?
Now, he could probably get away with these. I don't know why. What's probably happening is that you can see over here. You see how it's been rubbing on here. One side's been rubbing,
Yep.
and the other side hasn't been. I might be able to clean them up a little bit for his customer. Doesn't really have a lot of money.
I'm actually pretty surprised that the brake backing plate is now completely deteriorated.
Rusted, right, normally they do. Well, it is bent out of shape. If you look at it right here, it's got a wobble in it. Somebody must have hit something or
And we see them come in sometimes. You touch it and it
just
turns to dust.
deteriorated. So I'm going to sand it down. So that being said, it doesn't have a bad caliber, or maybe it does. I still got to test it afterwards.
You
But-
said they were hyperextended.
Yeah, they were fully extended because of how low the pad was. But like you can see, they actually went right back in with no problem whatsoever. You know, they slid back in both sides. So after I'm done cleaning all this up, his major problem, which he thought, or someone thought that it was calipers that were bad, it actually is a bad. And then the grinding you were hearing, because I drove the truck, and I honestly thought it was a hub bearing. You know, they said it was the cable or the caliper. I thought driving. Well, now I'm realizing it's because the emergency brake belt was off inside, was rubbing, causing a grinding sound. Not even really a grinding sound, almost the same sound you would hear when you got a bad hub bearing. But here, I mean, and it could have a bad hub bearing. There you go. I won't know until all this is replaced. So,
Well, good tip of the day at Parker Automotive from our expert mechanic. It's not always a caliper.
Right.
You know,
Or
double
a
check,
hub bearing.
check, keep checking,
right.
check everything in the braking system.
Right.
Because in this case, although it had a lot of other issues, parking
Right.
brake cable frozen.
Right, it's the parking brake cable itself, and let me see.
And do you know what that tool's called again?
Yeah, it's actually a brake adjuster, or a
Brake
caliper adjuster. It was made, here's the number on it. The number is actually GA-395. And I'm pretty sure this is a Blue Point.
Pretty cool tool.
Blue
for
Point.
that.
I'm pretty sure it's Blue Point. It might be a Snap-on. Who knows, man? This thing is super old. This was given, I got this from a really old technician years ago, so it could be China. No, I'm joking. I keep saying
That could be actually made in America if it's that old,
Yeah,
right?
It's pretty old and it's super heavy duty. I don't really use it for the calipers, but like you can see, if you look in here, if you push this down onto the inside in here and you leave a brake shoe right here, brake pad, I'll throw one on just to show you. Say you were to leave one in. Oh, right, this has got two different kinds. Okay, so you leave the shoe on there, then you put it into here with the other shoe on the inside after you get it off the caliper, and you turn it, and then it expands out and collapses in an evenly manner the pads or the caliper piston. So that being said, thank you for watching Parker Automotive. I'm not trying to teach you how to work on the car. I'm just showing you the little tricks that are involved. Sometimes to think outside of the box. So thanks for watching Parker Automotive. God bless you. God bless America. And say thank you to your wife today.